Hello all and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we shall be discussing about RCB's probable playing 11 for the second half of the 2021 IPL. Before I get started, let me make it clear that this is not the 11 that I wanted them to play, but this is the 11 that I am expecting them to play. With that stated, let us get started. Opening the innings, Virat Kohli, Devdutt Patel, a solid left-right opening combination. The big positive from the first half of the tournament is that both the openers showed improved intent in the power play. Yes, if you dig deeper and look at their power play statistics split by venue, you will find out that Virat was better in Chennai while Devdutt was much better as he struck at above 200 in Mumbai. But overall, it would be fair to say that more intent was shown up front by both the openers. On an average, RCB scored 47 to 48 runs at the loss of 1 wicket in the power play, which is not bad, especially if you take into account that they played 3 out of their 7 matches in Chennai. Then at the one down position, RCB have multiple options to choose from. They can either play Rajat Patidar, who they backed in the first half, or the very impressive Suyesh Prabhu Desai, or KS Bharat, who scored 95 in the practice match, or maybe somebody like a Sachin Baby if they want a left-hander and a more experienced option out there in the middle. So as I said, there are multiple options to pick and choose from, but at the end of the day, whoever slots in that position is at number 3, but only on paper. And we all know that cricket is not played on paper. Cricket is not a position game, it is a situation game. And ultimately, the batting position of whichever domestic batsman they choose to play will be determined by the game situation and the matchups. He will be used as a floater. Personally, I won't play Patidar since from what I saw earlier this year, it seemed as if he lacks those aggressive gears which might be requisite for playing that role. Moving on, Glenn Maxwell was one of the biggest positives for RCB. He solved an issue that the team has been facing for a few years now, that is acceleration versus spin bowling in the middle overs. Even in 2020, RCB was the worst performing side when it came to middle overs batting. Although this year, Maxwell has been incredible. He averaged 41 and played at a strike rate of 158 versus spinners in the middle as he played a pivotal role in RCB winning all of their 3 games at Chepauk. Another thing that goes in favor of both Maxwell and consequently the team as well is that RCB will be starting afresh. And it has been observed by many that Maxwell has the tendency to taper off over the course of a long tournament. But now since RCB and Maxwell will be starting off afresh, you never know, he might be at his best form once again. Then comes AB. Well, I need not talk about him. He was just busy being himself, the greatest in the world. The interesting part is number 6. Because even the number 9 position almost depends upon who they pick at number 6. If they select Hasaranga, a very skilled, incisive wrist spinner, when paired up with Chahal, RCB will have 8 overs of quality spin bowling. And then there is Maxwell as well, who if needed can chip in with a couple of overs, and therefore it allows them to play Saini, who can be used as an enforcer in the middle overs. But if they select Tim David, the animation on the screen, I forgot to play it. Choice to make between Hasaranga and Saini or David and Shahbaz. About Hasaranga and now about David. If they select David, a power hitter who absolutely annihilates any kind of trash bowling that he faces, they will be left with just Chahal as a specialist spinner and therefore will have to play Shahbaz at number 9. Although Shahbaz is not as good as Hasaranga, he is quite handy. And also, if you look at the entire RCB 11, right from Virat Kohli to Yuzi Chahal, they don't have a left-hander, unless of course they decide to play Sachin Baby at number 3. Apart from Devdutt Patel, they don't have any other left-hander. And therefore, Shahbaz can be quite handy Because being a left-hander, he can be deployed as a pinch hitter in the middle depending upon the matchups and the game scenario. So ultimately, no matter which way they go, there is merit. Let us wait and watch what the management decides. Then comes Kyle Jameson. Now, off the top of your head, this happened with me as well. You might remember Jameson taking a few crucial wickets and, nailing a few Yorkers here and there at the death. But he was very, very average when you look at his numbers. He recorded an economy rate of over 9 despite playing 3 matches at Chepauk. And at the death, although he bowled only 4 overs, he leaked runs at 15 per over. But given how highly reputed Kyle Jameson is these days, and I guess Virat Kohli also likes him a lot, I don't see RCB dropping him. Then, Purple Patel, I'm sorry, I mean Harshal Patel, the highest wicket taker of the tournament so far. Look, he was sublime as long as he was in Chennai. But as soon as he moved outside Chennai and played on better batting decks, as you can see on the screen, his numbers went downhill. This is not to say that he shall be out of the 11. The only point that I'm trying to make over here is that keep your expectations in check from Harshal Patel, especially at the death. He is nowhere as good a death bowler as a few people believe. Then Siraj, who has abruptly transformed into an all-phase T20 bowler. Ever since that Australia tour, he has been a different cricketer altogether. We all knew about the new ball value that he brings, but look at what he has done at the death. An economy rate of 8.12 is comparable to that of Bumrah, who recorded a death overs economy rate of 7.92 in the first half, and he played 5 games at Chepauk, whereas Siraj played only 3. These numbers, well, they clearly prove that if there is one bowler that Virat should be trusting at the death, it is Siraj and not somebody like a Harshal Patel or Kyle Jameson. No disrespect to them, but at this stage of the career, Siraj definitely is much, much better. At last but not the least, Yuzi Chahal, who was not in the best of the form in the first half and then also has been excluded from the World Cup squad. Given his style of bowling, although he has been in some bad form, I am expecting him to do well in grounds like Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Maybe not as well as he did in the 2020 IPL. As you can see on the screen, 21 wickets. He was the highest wicket taker for RCB and also the highest wicket taker amongst spinners in 2020. So yes, although I'm not expecting him to do as well as he did this in 2020, I am expecting him to bowl relatively well in grounds like Dubai and Abu Dhabi. And yes, with that, I feel that we conclude RCB's probable playing 11. Devdutt, Virat, a domestic batsman at number 3, Glenn Maxwell, AB de Villiers, Hasaranga or David, Kyle Jameson, Harshal Patel, Saini or Shahbaz, Siraj and then Chahal.